Hello guys, welcome here to today's video. It's just been announced that Nemanja Matic has joined from Chelsea for a fee believed to be £35 million, which could rise to could rise to 40 million with 5 million add-ons, depending on how well he performs at Manchester United in his contract. The contract is a 3-year deal with the option to extend a further year, and obviously he is currently 28, but tomorrow he'll be 29. So the time this video comes up, which will probably be tomorrow, he will be 29. So let's just talk about what I think about the transfer, his strengths, his weaknesses, what he'll allow, and was he a good buy or was he a bad buy. So let's start by talking about his strengths. Now, at the end of the day, he's a tall, he's a strong, and he's a physical player who, at the end of the day, meets the demands of the league. This is, as I said, I think I talked about this in the Lukaku video. The Premier League is a very sort of physical league, you know. You've got to have some sort of strength and aggression if you're going to do well here. And I feel like Matic, as I said, you know, he does meet that. You know, he has got the right sort of body shape, and he's the right sort of build to, you know, sort of do well in this league. And at the end of the day, he is Premier League proven. You know, he's had experience at Chelsea. In fact, he's won the title twice at Chelsea, and he's played a big part in winning that title at Chelsea in the 2 years. Maybe not so much last year. I feel like Kante probably got most of the credit last year, and deservedly so, but I feel like he did massively help and influence Chelsea to win the title in his first season here when he was under Mourinho, which, as we said, would be under Mourinho next season. At the end of the day, you know, he's a good defensive unit, he's a good option, and also, you know, he's a good sort of solid sort of shield in front of that back four, which is something we did have under Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger, but obviously they're not here anymore. But I think the best thing which Matic will offer Manchester United, and what something we will get from Matic next season, is he will allow Pogba more freedom. By having Matic in the team, you know, we'll have him more as a holding player. He'll be playing more next to sort of Ander Herrera as a sort of holding sort of defensive midfielder unit. We can then push Pogba further forward. Now, I'm not sure what formation we're going to play next season, but last year we played a lot of the 4-2. 3-1, and obviously we saw Herrera and Pogba as the two. We might see Matic and Herrera as them two, and then Pogba will be the sort of the middle of the three further forward. And I feel like that's the best position Pogba can operate on, and I feel like that will be something which we will see next season. I do feel like Pogba, you know, I feel like because of the price tag, because of all the dabs and the haircuts, he does very much get sort of scapegoated in the media and by everyone, really, by rival fans and that, but he is a very, very good player, and I'm hoping that next year, by bringing in Matic, we'll see the best of Pogba next year. It's also a replacement for Schneiderlin, who we left, Schweinsteiger, who left, Carrick, who's obviously getting older and looks like he could retire soon, maybe at the end of this year, and also an upgrade on Fellaini. It looks like Fellaini is going to be staying, but even if he does go, we have now got that Matic as a sort of replacement. As I said, you know, there's two players who are left, one who could leave and one who is soon to be leaving, and we've not really replaced any of them or got anyone in for the replacement of them, so that is why it's good to sign Matic. But as I said, you know, he's a Mourinho player as well. I've not said this, but this is what Mourinho said. He is a Mourinho player, and he has worked with Matic before at Chelsea. Now, one of the weaknesses that Matic does have, though, is he is 29 years old, and I feel like there was better options out there, like Fabinho, probably, like Verratti, like Matuidi, probably. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, 40 million, which is probably what the fee will be, because the 5 million probably will be added on to that 35. 40 million for a 29-year-old, is that really a good deal for Manchester United? Now, we're not just talking about 40 million for a 29-year-old who is in his prime or playing superbly well at the moment. We're talking about a player who, let's face it, is an outcast, is a player that Antonio Conte doesn't see in his plans next year. Now, that doesn't mean he's a particularly bad player, because let's look at it. Diego Costa is a very, very good striker, and he's not in his plans. He's not in Conte's plans for next season, is he? You know what I'm saying. You know, Costa is a very good player, but Conte doesn't want him, and Conte is very specific on who he wants in his team, and that's what makes a good manager. And that's the fact, he doesn't want Matic, or he thinks there's better players out there than Matic. Which there are. You know, I'm not just going to only say that Matic is the best player in the world now. There are better players out there. I'm not sure if you can call him a Chelsea reject, because I feel like in his 3 years there, he's not done too bad. But I do feel like now, obviously, he's an outcast by letting him leave. And the fact is, it's not often you see a Chelsea player join United or a United player join Chelsea or any sort of Premier League rival from the top six, because usually you're sort of strengthening your opponent and weakening yourself. So I feel like the fact that Chelsea allowed him to go says that they feel like they've got the quality. And obviously they signed that Timiona Bakayoko, which I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure though. as I said, there are better options for me, but I'm quite happy to settle with Matic, and it's good to sort of get that third signing under a line in a market where everyone demands such a high quality price and a premium when Manchester United come in from. In my opinion, in my verdict of the transfer, I think it's what we need. You know, it's filled the gap which has been sort of not replaced or filled, you know, since the Schneiderlin and Feinsteiger left. You know, we couldn't afford to let Fellaini go or Carrick sort of not be able to meet the demands of this season without sort of bringing in that player to have in the squad. As I said, he's Premier League proven. He's won the Premier League twice, in fact. He's a Mourinho player. He's got a good relationship with the manager. And I think the best thing about Matic will be that he can operate in Pogba's position from last year, which can allow Pogba to play in his natural position, which is more further forward. So he's a good defensive option. Anyway, that is that for today's video. We'll bring up many more content very shortly. And don't forget to check out my Oxford United career mode. Thanks for watching. See you later.